Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Yogi Plant. So in light of today, which is the day after Halloween, we have a sequence plan today. It's, well, like every sequence, a little bit of everything, but this one is going to be focusing on grounding. And so I'm hoping by the end of the class, we'll have time to do some legs up the wall. Seems like a nice time to end for November 1st. So welcome. We're going to start tonight in Sukhasana. So if you guys want to join me cross-legged in easy pose. Oh, and happy November 1st, by the way. Yay. So we're going to start sitting in Sukhasana, cross-legged, or some people call it easy pose. Just coming into our yoga breath here. So we're going to be inhaling and exhaling through our nose. Pausing at the top of our inhales. And pausing at the bottom of our exhale. And as you're finding yourself on your mat tonight, I invite you to sit a little taller. Opening up your collarbone to the ceiling. So we're going to do some grounding breath tonight. You'll remember it from our previous classes. It's called Nadi Shodhana. So we're going to be taking our pointer finger and our middle finger, bring them in, and then leaving our pinky finger and our ring finger out. And don't worry if your hand looks kind of funny, because it's kind of a funny way to put your hand. We don't usually do that. So do your best. And so basically I'm going to do a couple and then we're going to do them on our own. So once you have your hang loose Nadi Shodhana hand, we're going to inhale together through our nose. We're going to take our thumb and just put it on the outside of our right nostril. And we're going to exhale through our left nostril. Then we're going to pause and we're going to inhale through our left nostril. And on the pause, we're going to switch. So our ring finger and our pinky are going to now push on the left nostril, and we're going to exhale through our right nostril. Pausing and then inhaling. And on the pause after your inhale, that's when you're going to switch. So your thumb now will plug your right nostril, and you're going to exhale through your left nostril. So I invite you to continue breathing like this. We're going to do about 5 rounds. And as you find yourself coming to the end of your rounds, be sure to end with your left nostril. And I invite you to come back to Sukhasana, finding your yoga breath. Letting your shoulders drop down your back. Engaging that navel area, that core. When you're engaging your navel area or drawing in your abdominal area, that's actually engaging not only your abdominal muscles, but also your muscles within your lower back, kind of like your apple core. So on your next exhale, I invite you to just put your hands down to the side of your thighs. And continue breathing. And as you exhale, just tilting your head to the right. Sometimes you don't have to tilt too far to feel that nice stretch along the left-hand side of your neck. And if you'd like, you can take your right hand, just gently put it on your head, adding a little bit of weight, if that feels okay. And as you let your hand fall back to the ground, maybe looking now to your right side. Maintaining that weight on both your sit bones. And as you inhale, bringing your head to center. And as you exhale, just tilting your head to the left-hand side. Now breathing into that right-hand side of your neck, all the way down to your shoulder. And if you like, take your left hand now, gently place it on the crown of your head, allowing a little bit of extra weight. And as you allow your hand to fall back down, just turning your head now down towards your left-hand side. Once again, letting that energy, keeping your shoulders drawn down your back. And on an inhale, bring your head to center. Exhaling, looking down, forward. Now breathing into the back of your neck. Getting a little bit of Jalahara Bandha going. And as you inhale, looking to center, then moving all the way up, looking towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, coming to center. We're going to move into some shoulder stretches with eagle arms. So as you're continuing to breathe here, you're going to take your left elbow and put it underneath your right. And then interlock your arms. And as you continue to breathe, maybe pushing your elbows out a little bit away from you. Feeling that stretch through your shoulders. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our arms down. And then we're going to take our left hand now, our left elbow now, and put it underneath our right. So do the opposite of what you just did. You'll know it's the opposite because it feels a little different. And same thing, allowing your elbows to move out away from your body. You might be feeling a nice stretch through your shoulders here. Exhaling your hands down to your knees. All right, move into a twist here. So as we inhale, we're going to engage our navel. Exhaling, we're going to put our right hand on our left knee, left hand behind us, and twisting through our navel. Going towards our left hand side. And on the exhale, we'll come forward. Same thing on the other side. Inhaling, engaging that navel area, taking our left hand to our right knee, right hand behind us. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to our right. Exhaling, coming to center. We're going to move into a pull gate tonight. So I invite you to keep your block handy. Maybe just put it out in front of you here. We're going to come up to our knees. Take our right foot, put it out to our right side. Going to inhale our left hand up, palm facing the right. And as we exhale, we're going to reach our right palm, our right fingers towards the right hand side of the room. Feels okay, you can look at. And if you'd like, you can take your right hand and just wrap it behind your body. Or you can keep your palm down on your leg for support. And as you're breathing, ensuring you're engaging your core here. I feel like I say that a lot in yoga, but a lot of yoga is about engaging your core. And on the inhale, we'll bring our hand down, coming up. Exhaling, back on our knees. And on another inhale, we're going to take our left hand out now, or sorry, our left foot. Inhaling our right hand up, palm facing the left. And as we exhale, reaching our right fingers now to the left. Same thing, you can look up to the ceiling, take your left hand and put it behind you. Calling on your body to do a little extra balancing here. On the exhale, bringing your hand down, coming back to center. So we're going to do some feet work tonight. So we're going to take our block here. I'll turn sideways so you guys can see me. Maybe I'll stay here. All right, so we're going to start on our toes. And then we're to just sit back on our toes, if that feels okay for you. If you're feeling a little bit of strain, you can always lean on your block a bit. And then if you're sitting on your toes, we're going to do a little bit of forearm stretching. So we're going to inhale our right hand up, palm facing away from us. And then we're going to take our fingers, and on an exhale, we're just going to pull them gently towards us. This is definitely a great pose for you to do if you're watching TV or something. And on your next exhale, you just take your fingers and gently wrap them now so that your palm is facing you. Just apply a little bit of pressure here. It's a nice stretch for your wrists and your forearms. So on an exhale, we're going to take our hands down to the mat, kicking our feet out. And then we're going to leave our tops of our feet flat on the mat. We're going to sit down on our feet here. So same thing now with the left hand. We're going to take our left hand out, palm facing away from us. Inhaling, grabbing our fingers. And as you exhale, just pulling your fingers towards you. And on your next exhale, just wrapping now your fingers now down so that your palm is facing you. And gently applying some pressure to your hand here. If you work at a keyboard all day or a computer, this is definitely something you can do at work as well. I try to remember to do it when I'm at work. And you can exhale your hands down. We're going to strategically place our block to the top of our mat here, and we're going to come into tabletop. Right, once you're in tabletop, your wrists should be underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. You can take a quick peek. The tops of your feet are flat on the mat. You're engaging your core and looking forward. And as you inhale, we're going to move into cow. Forehead, tailbone reaching up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, going into cat. Opposite, so you're bringing your forehead and your tailbone down towards the mat. And we're going to continue to do this on our own breath here. Inhaling into cow and exhaling into cat. You can try different speeds here if you want. Doing you. Really feeling your spine moving one way and then the other. Maybe breathing into your shoulders here. We're going to do one more round. And we're going to find ourselves ending after our last cat back into tabletop. I was going to call this plank for a second. So continuing with your yoga breath, as you exhale, flipping your toes under and bringing your bum up towards the ceiling. Coming into your first downward dog. Those of you wanting to pedal your knees, now is a good time. And then, of course, side to side to side. And then ending with a nice downward dog. Your drishti's at your navel or your upper thighs here, pushing through your finger, or sorry, your the base of your thumb, spreading your fingers. One more breath here. And on an exhale, we're going to bend our knees. Inhaling, big step forward, bringing both feet to the front of the mat. Exhaling down, forward fold, bending those knees so your tummy's resting on them and your hands are on the ground. Inhaling up halfway, chaturanga dandasana. Exhaling back down, forward fold. And then inhaling all the way up to salute, hands to the ceiling. Exhaling down through prayer, samstiti, and then down to tadasana or mountain pose. We're going to take a moment here to ground ourselves in tadasana, very powerful foundation pose of yoga. This is the one you can do when you're standing in line at the grocery store. So grounding through your toes. You might even want to just wiggle your toes and then feel them flat on the earth here or on your mat. Breathing up that energy. Engaging your calves and your thighs and your knees. Inhaling, engaging that navel, bringing that lower abdomen in. Nice strong core here. Dropping your shoulders down your back. Drishti straight ahead. And on an inhale, we're going to raise our hands to salute. Coming into sun salutation A, we're going to exhale our hands down towards the mat, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhaling our hands back down. Taking our right foot back and pausing for a moment here in low lunge. And exhaling your left foot back to meet the right. Coming into your version of plank. Drishti, gaze straight ahead. And as you exhale, lowering yourself down through chaturanga dandasana. So your elbows are close to your body and your hands are located underneath your shoulders. Inhaling into baby cobra, raising your chest off the ground. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up through tabletop. And then exhaling as we flip our feet, lifting our bums into downward dog. Checking that you can't see your heels, that they're hid nicely behind your feet here. Pushing through your hands. Feel free as well, if you like, you could bend your knees here if that feels better for you tonight. Opening up those elbow pits toward the front of the mat. That helps to keep your shoulders open. And on your next exhale, bending your knees, inhaling, big step forward, bringing both feet to the top of the mat. Exhaling down to forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhaling back down in Uttanasana. And then inhaling all the way. Hands to the ceiling and salute, maybe coming into a little bit of back bend. And then exhaling your hands down. And if you like, go on to Tadasana. Good job, everybody. We're going to do we're going to have some fun with B now. We're going to inhale our hands up to the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to bring them down into prayer and bend our knees. Coming into chair. Making sure you can see your toes peeking up over your knees here. Your drishti or your gaze is forward. And on an exhale, we're going to go into revolved chair. So if you can tuck your elbow around your knee, that's great. If not, you could be like this as well. And if it feels okay, looking up towards the ceiling. Trying not to like fall into your knees here, keeping that nice core strong here. And on an inhale, looking to center. And on an exhale, twisting or revolving the other way. Inhaling, coming back to center. Finding your chair, and then exhaling, hands to the mat, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway through Ardha Uttanasana, exhaling down. This time taking your left foot, stepping it back. Taking a moment here in low lunge. And as we exhale, stepping your right foot back to meet your left. Holding this plank for a yoga breath. Exhaling down, lowering down. Inhaling up, baby cobra. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up through tabletop. And then exhaling our thumbs to the air into downward dog. Keeping those fingers spread. Maybe allowing your heels to drop a little lower down towards the mat. Now that you're feeling a little warmed up. And on an exhale, we're going to bend our knees. Inhaling, big step forward. Bringing both feet to the front of the mat. Exhaling down, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhaling our hands back down to the mat. Taking our right foot now, stepping it back behind us. We're going to make sure that our back foot's turned about 45 degrees. Left knee is bent over top of your left ankle. We're going to inhale our hands up to our hips. So your pelvis is facing the top right-hand corner of your mat. And just take a moment here and check your footing. If you find you have a short stance, maybe just step your foot back just a little bit more, come into a bit of a longer warrior one. Give yourself a little bit of a challenge today. And if that's feeling good, inhaling your hands all the way into the air. Rounding through your 2 feet. And back and front. Engaging those legs. And on the inhale, we're going to bring our hands down and straighten our front leg. And we're going to take our back foot and pivot it out. So now that our hips are facing the long side of our mat. And if you like to do triangle with a block, you could just maybe grab your block and have it handy here. We're going to inhale our hands out. And on an exhale, we're going to reach our left hand forward, bringing it down to the mat with our block. Right hand comes up. If it feels okay, we're going to be looking up to the split. That thumb in the air, pretty much in line with your lips. One more breath here. Hi, Doug. And we're going to inhale our arms up. And as we exhale, you can just bring your, I have my block in my hand. You can pivot your feet so that they're parallel with the front and the back of the mat, and you can just put your block down at the back of your mat now. We're going to inhale our arms up, and as we exhale, we're going to bring our hands all the way down to the mat, coming into a wide-legged forward bend, being sure to micro bend your knees a little bit here, inhaling, looking up. And as you exhale, walking your hands back between your legs, elbows facing the back of the room. Continuing your yoga breath here. One more breath. And on an inhale, we're going to bring our hands to our hips, coming up halfway. Exhaling. And on an inhale, we're going to come up all the way. I'm going to just shorten my stance a little bit because I always go a little bit wider there. Now we're going to keep our left foot where it is. We're going to take our right foot now and turn it towards the front of the mat. So once again, your pelvis is facing the long side of your mat. We're going to inhale our arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to reach to the back of the room now, or our right-hand side. Exhaling down into triangle, bringing that left hand up. Continuing to breathe here. Nice strong legs. And on an inhale, we'll come on up. And on an exhale, we're going to step to the back of our mat. Coming back to Tadasana. And then we're going to inhale our left foot now back behind us to set up for warrior one on the other side. So your left foot is 45 degrees, is pointed to the left-hand corner. And if you find you have a short stance, just take it back a little bit here. We're going to inhale our hands to our hips. And as we exhale, we're going to bend our right knee. And you might need to even lengthen your stance a little bit more. One way to enhance your warrior one is just to lengthen your stance a little bit more. And maybe go a little lower. And if this is feeling good, inhaling your hands up to the ceiling, either open or in prayer, it's up to you. Balancing your weight between your 2 feet. And on an exhale, we're going to take our hands now, put them on either side of our foot. We're going to pivot our left foot back. So our toes are now pointing to the back of the mat. We're going to take our right foot back to meet our left, coming into our version of plank. So you're more than welcome to drop your knees here. Holding for a breath, and then as we exhale, lowering down through Chaturanga Dandasana. And then inhaling our forehead and our chest off the ground into Baby Cobra. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up through tabletop. And then as we exhale, lifting our bones up into the air, into downward dog. Finding your yoga breath. Keeping those fingers open. Drishti at your navel or your thighs. One more breath. And on an exhale, we'll bend our knees. Inhaling, big step forward. Bringing both feet to the front of the mat. Exhaling down, bending those knees, getting your hands on the mat for forward fold or Uttanasana. Inhaling up halfway, coming into Ardha Uttanasana, letting those shoulders go down your back. Exhaling back down to forward fold, keeping your knees bent. Inhaling up into prayer, keeping your knees bent, and you should be in chair. Drishti facing forward, finding that yoga breath, nice strong core. And on your next inhale, standing up to salute, and then exhaling your hands down through Samasthiti, back to Tadasana. Good job, everybody. Okay, we're going to move into our tree pose here. So, might want to shake it out a little bit. And then when you're ready, shifting your weight to your right foot, maybe inhaling your hands to your waist, and then bringing your left foot to your inner calf or inside your inner thigh, whatever you feel like doing today. That feels okay. You can come put your hands into prayer. And if that's feeling good, you can inhale your hands into the air. And on your next exhale, bringing your left foot down, shaking it out. We're going to shift our weight to our left foot now. Same thing, bringing our right foot to our inner calf. Or if that feels okay, maybe trying the inner thigh. Hands in prayer. And if that's okay, hands in the air. For Halloween, I feel like a spooky tree. On an exhale, bringing your right foot down. Taking down a little bit. Okay, so you're going to want to have your block handy here. And just a heads up, we're moving into malasana. So we're going to be standing in Tadasana with our feet wider than hips distance apart. And then we're going to take our toes and just point them to the two corners of our mat. So our toes are pointing outward. We're going to inhale into kind of a baby star. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our hands into prayer and start bending our knees. Now you are at home, so you could go against the wall if you like, or you can come down where you are on your mat. You can take your block to whatever height you want and just sit on your block. So you find there's a little bit of resistance between your elbows and your knees. That's totally normal. If you'd like to try without your block, you can just push your block behind you. I always think when I'm doing this pose, I saw a picture of a guy in India waiting for the bus like this, and I always feel like that. I always think of that, I'm that guy waiting for the bus. Continuing to breathe here. A couple more breaths. And on exhale, you just put your hands on the mat here. And if you have your block underneath of you, we're going to come onto our knees. We're going to move into hero's pose. So I'll do it from the front first, and then I'll probably turn to the side. So you want to put your block kind of underneath your bum, horizontal or vertical, it doesn't matter. And then as you exhale, just sit back and keep your feet out to the sides of you. So you might remember when we did that, our foot stretch earlier, your feet will be kind of in that same position with the tops of your feet on the mat. So I'll do it sideways so you guys can see what it looks like that. So if you're sitting on your block, And it looks like this sideways. Or if you want to try without your block, you can sit down right down on the mat. Whatever you're feeling is good for you today. Be mindful of your knees. They do say this is a good stretch for your knees. And if this is feeling okay for you, then take your hands, put them behind you, your fingers pointing towards your bum, inhaling, looking up. And as you exhale, just coming into a little bit of a back bend. Maybe dropping your head back if that feels okay. If you're very familiar with this pose, you could go lower if you like, or you can stay where you're at. So if you go lower, you just bend your elbows. And some people lay on the ground. I'm not going to lay on the ground today, but you can if you do this pose a lot and you're familiar with it. And we're going to inhale, slowly sitting back up. I'll turn back to face you guys, sort of like this. And then as we continue to yoga breathe, we're going to bring our feet out in front of us. We're going to move into a bound ankle pose. So your feet are together and then you just open them up like a book a little bit. And I'm sitting on my block. Feel free to do that if you like. Inhale, looking up. We're going to hold this sitting straight for a few minutes. Just allowing our thighs to open up here. Letting our shoulders drop down our back. Maybe we're our drishtis up at the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to take our hands and just fold our feet together, coming forward with our bodies. If you're on your block, you'll find you're moving a little bit further forward than you normally do. Couple more breaths here. And on an inhale, we're going to come on up. And as you exhale, just straightening out your legs, keeping them open. Once again, you could be sitting on your block or you could be sitting on the ground, sitting up straight either way, engaging that navel. On an inhale, we'll bring our hands up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to reach forward. Inhaling, looking up. And as we exhale, bending forward. On an inhale, we're going to look up. We're just going to take our hands, kind of walk them over towards our right foot. And continuing to breathe here, you can exhale. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, reaching towards our toes, sliding our hands along the floor. Keeping those toes engaged by pointing them towards your forehead. And if you like, you can put your hands on your shins or at your feet, at your toes, wherever you can bind here. And as you exhale, moving maybe a little deeper into the pose. Maintaining some balance between your two sit bones here, so you're not leaning too far to the right. And on inhale, coming up. Exhaling. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to inhale our arms up to the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forward, reaching forward. And then we're going to walk our hands now to the left. Inhale, looking at our toes. And as we exhale, folding towards our left-hand side. And maybe grabbing wherever you like. So it could be on your shins, or your feet, or your toes. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, folding forward. Keeping those toes engaged, pointing towards your forehead. One more breath. As we inhale, we're going to slide ourselves up. And then we're going to take our legs. We're going to take our left foot and put it on the mat, bending our left knee. Take our right knee and bend it behind our left foot. And then cross that left foot over the right knee, coming into our pretzel pose. You're going to put your right hand on your left knee. Left hand can go behind you. We're going to inhale, sitting up straight. And as we exhale, we're going to twist through our waist to the left. Inhale, coming forward. Exhaling, letting your feet go. So this time we're going to put our left knee on the ground, take our right knee, our right foot, put it down beside our right knee, and then bring it over to the other side. Left hand's on your right knee, right hand's behind you, inhaling, engaging your navel. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to the right. One more breath. And as we inhale, we're going to come forward. Exhaling, letting release. All right, we've got a couple more poses here before we move to legs up the wall. So I'm going to take my block and move it away from me. And we're going to come into tabletop here. So take that moment in tabletop to make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And surprise, we're going to do one more downward dog. So as you exhale, flip your toes under, bring your bum into the air, find your downward dog. And you're welcome to stay here. Or if you'd like to try a twist, you can maybe walk your hands in just a little bit. And on your next exhale, you're just going to reach around and grab the back of your ankle. And on exhale, take our left hand back, put it in place. Find our drishti once again. Our upper thighs are our navel. And on an exhale, you can take your right hand now, reach behind your left ankle, and just look kind of towards your left, underneath your armpit. Couple breaths here. And on the exhale, take your right hand, put it back. Find that drishti one more time. Continue to breathe here. And on exhale, we're going to bend our knees, coming into a brief tabletop. And then we're going to move into child's pose. Finding your child's pose tonight. Taking a moment to ground through your breath. Your forehead on the mat, if that feels okay. Your arms either out in front of you or around your legs. Maybe just letting your yoga breath go a little bit here. You're inhaling, coming into a sitting position, however you choose. We're going to set ourselves up now for legs up the wall. I invite you to use a blanket or a second mat. You could roll it up to put it underneath your lower back. That feels really nice. Just spin my mat around here. Okay. Have your sweater handy if you like. All right. So you guys might remember this from another class. So the best way to get into legs up the wall is to sit against the wall on your side, and then you basically just move your body, you lift your legs up, move your butt towards the wall. And then if you have something underneath your lower back, you adjust it to where it's feeling good for you. So once you're in position, this is going to be our Shavasana tonight. So you can definitely, grab a sweater, get comfy. And it's your legs up the wall, so you're more than welcome to take a bound angle up the wall if that's feeling good for you tonight, or a straight up traditional legs up the wall pose. Just going to scooch my bum in a little bit more. So I invite you to take a sigh if you like, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Then one more. And with that, let your breath go. Your hands can be wherever you want them to be. They can be beside you. They can be on your tummy. Whatever's feeling good for you tonight. I will let you know when class is done. And feel free to stay with your legs up the wall if you would like. And for a little bit longer. That's the bonus of online classes. So if you're wanting to move out of legs up the wall, just invite you to start wiggling your toes. Maybe touching your arms how you'd like them to go. Moving your arms, moving those fingers. And maybe bend your knees. When you're ready, kind of taking the same route you took to get to legs up the wall. So just moving to one side, resting your head on your arm here. Maybe thinking of some intent you might have for this upcoming week or month or a year. Doesn't have to be a huge one, or it could be. And then when you're ready, raising yourself up. And coming into sleep. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.